Welcome to Psychology Refresh. Today we're going to go over the 17 psychological facts that will blow your mind. Make sure to watch each one of them to find out how many will blow your mind. Because human psychology is immensely complicated, new research is published every day that helps to explain why we are the way we are. Understanding the psychology behind our behavior, how we treat others, and how we express ourselves might be even more intriguing. These psychological facts describe human nature and may help you understand some of the partners you've noticed in yourselves and others. Here are 17 psychological facts that will blow your mind. Number 1. Unconscious decisions. Despite what most of us would prefer to believe, decision-making may be largely influenced by unconscious mental activity. Many functions in the brain occur automatically and without our consciousness, a group of scientists discovered. This prevents our minds from becoming overburdened by mundane duties. In fact, researchers state that up to 90% of our decision-making is unconscious. Number 2. Moral losing. Do you know that it is very possible for you to lose your morals? For that to happen, the authority figure is needed. Yale psychologist Stanley Milgram famously ran an experiment in the 1960s in the hopes of proving that Americans would not accept unethical directives as the Nazis had. Participants were told by an authority figure to deliver electric shocks to a learner who was an actor who was unknown to the real volunteers every time they got an answer wrong from him. Even when the learner yelled in pain, the participants continued to apply electric shocks because the authority figure who was standing next to them was saying so. Milgram was very surprised by the results. Number 3. Power and empathy. Almost everyone has heard about Stanford's renowned prison experiment. In a fictitious prison, college students were randomly selected to be either a prisoner or a guard. After only a few days, the guards began abusing verbally and physically the prisoners. The situation became so severe that the 2-week trial was called off after only 6 days. That may seem excessive, but subsequent research has shown that when people feel in a position of power, they become worse at judging a person's feelings based on their facial expressions, showing a loss of empathy. In other words, power makes people care less about others. If you are enjoying our content, please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell. Number 4. Long-term deadlines. Almost everyone has procrastinated at some point, despite the fact that we know it makes more sense to get a head start on our tasks rather than watch Netflix. We choose insignificant, urgent jobs because we know we'll be able to finish them. There's also data that whenever we see the deadline approaching in days rather than months or years, we feel more committed to the passing of time on a day-by-day basis. Number 5. Expectations level. You may be aware of the Pygmalion effect, which states that we perform well when others anticipate us to succeed and poorly when others expect us to fail. The concept was inspired by a well-known 1960 study in which researchers told teachers that based on IQ tests, certain pupils who were selected randomly had great potential. Because their teachers had great expectations for them, those pupils did grow on to be high achievers. Number 6. Fake beliefs. In one science study, researchers gave volunteers false information. A week later, the facts turned out not to be true. In spite of knowing the truth, fMRI scans showed that half of the volunteers still believed the misinformation. And this is where the famous quote comes from that it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. Knowing this psychology fact can make you smarter, but do not use it in bad faith. Number 7. Choice paralysis. There is a lot of evidence suggesting our brains prefer a few options over a lot. Singles at speed dating events chose fewer possible dates when they met more people, and those people were more diverse in terms of age and occupation. The human brain simply isn't designed to process and compare the sheer amount of information it is often given. Number 8. Reading lines. According to studies, the best length for reading is 100 characters per line. However, people prefer to read lines with a shorter length of 45 to 72 characters each phrase. When crafting inspiring boards on social media or posting notes for yourself, or determining how to construct your dream board, knowing this is quite helpful. With a shorter line length, you have a more positive psychological experience. Number 9. Music sentiment. Studies have discovered evidence that suggests our brains are more strongly bound to the music we heard as teenagers than to anything we'll hear as adults, and this bond doesn't decrease as we get older. Our favorite music releases dopamine and other feel-good neurotransmitters, which is amplified when we're young because our brains are still developing. Everything seems more essential between the ages of 12 and 22, so we try to emphasize those years the most and hold on to those musical memories. Number 10. Energy preservation. Conserving energy is a desirable idea from an evolutionary standpoint. When food was scarce, our predecessors still had to be prepared for everything. Unfortunately, that is still relevant today for anyone trying to lose weight. Volunteers on a treadmill naturally alter their stride to burn fewer calories, according to small research published in Current Biology. Number 11. Cute aggression. This puppy is so cute, I just want to smoosh it so hard! This is called cute aggression, and the person who feels that way doesn't really intend to crush the adorable puppy, and it's called. According to a study published in Frontiers in Behavioral Neuroscience, a little bit of aggression helps us balance out positive feelings when we're feeling overwhelmed by them, especially when looking at unbelievably cute baby animals. Number 12. Future events. Have you ever let your mind wander and imagined all the horrible things that may possibly go wrong? Even if you believe horrible things will happen, 85% of the things you are concerned about are unlikely to materialize. In one study, participants were required to write down all of their anxieties over a period of time, and the majority of them did not come true. In fact, only 15% of the events they recorded actually occurred. Number 13. Comfort zone. It is possible to learn a ton of new information in a very short period. How? By getting out of the comfort zone. When your life is unstable, your brain's learning centers are activated and attentive, according to scientists. You are probably not learning if you stay in your comfort zone. To get the most out of your learning, make sure you spend 70% of your time doing things that are beyond your comfort zone. Number 14. Forgetfulness advantage. Having an excellent memory appears to be a valuable attribute that can help a person become more clever. Unlike common assumptions, however, forgetting is a sign of superior intelligence. Forgetfulness prevents the brain from wasting time and energy on things that aren't important. Memory's objective is to help you make better decisions. As a result, the brain must ignore irrelevant information in order to concentrate on the knowledge that will assist it in making decisions in the real world. Number 15. Genetic phobias. You might be able to blame your phobias on your forefathers if you're terrified of spiders or heights. Phobias are most likely genetic memories passed down through generations, according to scientific studies. While memories are formed over the course of a lifetime, research suggests that they can be passed on through chemical genetic alterations in DNA. This implies you don't have to feel bad about being scared of the water or having a clown attend your birthday party, because the fear was begun by someone else in your family tree and passed down to you inadvertently. Number 16. Increased focus. There's a reason why you might have turned down the music in a parking lot while seeking a spot because you thought it would help you see better. We are less sensitive to visual information when our brains are engaged in hearing. It is instinctive to remove noisy distractions so that our brains may focus more intently on the visual information coming in. It's entirely acceptable to turn off the music or stop talking to the passenger when traveling in a new place or parking a car so you can concentrate on this particular action. Number 17. The Holy Trinity. Have you ever pondered why it takes so long to navigate around a car accident? It's because people are so interested in seeing what happens next. This inquisitiveness originates from a survival-oriented component of our brain. The purpose of the function is to constantly monitor the environment and ask 3 questions. Can I eat that? Can I have sex with that? Can I be killed by that? The 3 pillars of survival are food, sex, and danger, so we are paying attention to them all the time. We hope these psychological facts blew your mind. These videos will be really helpful for you.